Now with me in studio tonight, Richie, Didi, and a very warm welcome to Richard Dunne. And Richard, I want to start with you first of all, because Barcelona for the last 10 or more years, they've been there or thereabouts in this competition. A few big nights for them, big successes. Will they be there again this season?
I think so, yeah. I think any team with Messi has to be thought of as one of the favourites. But this year, certainly they've strengthened defensively. They've conceded one goal in the Champions League, one goal in their own league campaign, and they look like a team that can adapt to different situations. Whereas previously it was all about what they can do going forward. Now they've also got that little bit of steel at the back, and I think as the tournament progresses and it gets more difficult, they'll have that strength behind them this year. Whereas previously they brought probably a little bit weak defensively.
Yeah, and Juventus, Richie, as we look at their team, like, just talk us through this and your thoughts on how they'll fare this season.
Yeah, I watched them at the weekend where they were surprisingly but deservedly beaten by Sampdoria. The managers made changes both in terms of formation and personnel. Buffon and Barzagli come back in the team. They were given the weekend off because they were struggling to come to terms with Italy's defeat midweek. And they've gone back to a back three per previously in this tournament, and at the weekend they were a back four. In the middle of the park, as expected, Khedira, Pjanic up front. Dybala and Costa returned to the team. They were rested at the weekend. Higuain leads the line, but 6 changes to the team that played very, very poorly at the weekend. Now, Didi, massive surprise in the Barcelona team.
Yeah, I think we don't see very often in the big story tonight. Messi isn't starting, unfortunately. Hopefully we see him later on in the game. At the back in Ter Stegen, they've got a top-class goalkeeper, German international. What Richard just spoke about, I think in Umtiti they've got a player who first and foremost defends. Yes, he wants to play with the ball, but he's a defender, probably of the sort they haven't had since Puyol left the club. And then in midfield, Sergio Busquets, we all know he's the anchor in that team, the heartbeat in their team to link between defence and attack. Rakitic, fantastic player. Iniesta's coming to the end of his career, but he's still got some life in him. And up top, Paulinho, Suarez and Deulofeu have got to score the goals today they need to win that game in the absence of the great Messi.
Yeah, absolutely. And Richard, I suppose, look, when you look at that team, it does look odd without Messi's name on it, doesn't it?
Yeah, it certainly doesn't look as strong. You know, straight away for a Juventus player, be looking and they'll be delighted with it. But it's a strange one with Messi because he doesn't miss many matches, and when he is playing, he doesn't like to be taken off. So whether it's a tactical reason, I'm not sure, or he has a little bit of a knock, but it doesn't seem to be the usual thing that Messi's starting on the bench, and I can't imagine if he's not injured that he's going to be very happy about it. Yeah.